Hi, certainly glad you could join me today. I thought today we'd do just a fantastic little painting, and I think you'll enjoy this one. So let's start out and have them run all the colors across the screen that you need to paint along with me. And while they're doing that, let me show you what I've done up here. I have my standard old 18 by 24 inch canvas, but you use whatever size you want. And today I've cut out an oval out of just contact paper and stuck on there. But what's different, inside of this oval, I've covered the center of this with liquid clear right in here. And then on the top and the bottom, I put liquid white and just let them blend together. Today we're going to do something that's a little different, and I want this to stay very transparent in here. That's the reason we have the clear in here. And when you apply this clear, apply very, very little. I can't say that enough. Shoot, one can of that will last you probably the rest of your life. It takes very little. Biggest mistake made is applying too much. So let's just have some fun. Shoot, I'm going to start off with a little touch of the phthalo blue today on the 2-inch brush. Just take a little out, tap the bristles firmly into the paint. That assures that we have a nice even distribution of color all the way through the bristles. Okay, let's go up here. Now then, let's just lay in a happy little sky, just making little crisscross strokes. Start at the top and work downward. And by working downward, that's going to mix with the liquid white, and automatically, it's going to get lighter and lighter in value as it travels downward. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Let it work by itself. You don't have to worry about it here. Let it happen. Okay? Maybe we'll have a little water in here. You know me, I love water. So maybe down here on the bottom, we'll just come right across like so. There. Same color, just phthalo blue. And come from the other side. I'm trying to leave a little area open here. And if everything works just right, when we're all finished, that'll look like a little sheen of light coming across the water. And that too will happen automatically for you. There, maybe we'll put some buildings today that are sitting out here on the edge of the water. I live in Florida, which I think I've mentioned several times. And close to where I live is the St. Johns River, and there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful buildings that sit right on the river. And some of the best fishing in the country. Whew. Boy, it's nice. Okay, I'll wash the old brush. We just wash it with odorless thinner. Give it a good shake. And just beat the devil out of it. Very lightly now, very lightly. We just blend all this water area right together. There. And see, that light area remains in there. It's your good friend. Okay, tell you what. Let's take a little black, a little Prussian blue. We'll put a happy little cloud up here. Very, very little paint on the brush though. Very little paint, and mostly black. Okay, let's go right up here. Maybe in our world up here in the sky, we'll put in just some little clouds using just the corner of the brush. That's all we're using. There, see? Just make little round circles. Maybe there's a happy little cloud that maybe he floats right out here. I don't know, wherever you want him. Wherever you want him. In your world, you make this big decision and decide where these little rascals live. And just drop them in. That easy. There. Now then, let me grab a fan brush here. We'll take old fan brush, little touch of the titanium white on it. In fact, there's more than a touch. There's a lot of paint on that brush. Just really load it up. Now then, let's go up in here. Now make some big decisions. Maybe there's some highlights on these clouds. Just use the corner of the fan brush, make little tiny circular strokes. Allow that color to just sort of blend back. There. See? Just very gentle little clouds. Maybe there's a little light playing right through there on that edge. Wherever, a little bit here. And each painting will be different and individual. We don't use any patterns, or we don't do any tracing here. This is a very free form of painting. Very, very free. Let your imagination work for you. Each of us is issued an imagination when we're born. Use it. And it's like any other muscle or anything in our body. The more you use it, the better it works. It gets strong, just like if you exercise your arm. Get strong, big. Use your imagination. There. It may be the most valuable asset that any artist can have. There we are. It's very easy to learn to paint. Very easy. Shoot, we'll teach you to paint right here. And very rapidly, the problem does not end up being what to paint, or how to paint, I'm sorry, but what to paint. Yeah, what to paint becomes much more difficult than how to paint. Put another little layer in that. Sometimes my tongue gets over my eye teeth and I can't see what I'm saying. There. Okay, just blend that right out. There we go. And that quick, we have just a very nice little sky. Very simple little sky, but very effective. Thought today we'd use the old round brush. What the heck? We'll take some black. Just go mix color in the brush. Black, some little sap green, be right back. Get a little brown, a little alizarin crimson, whatever. A little touch of the Prussian blue. Just tap. Firmly, firmly tap. Okay, let's go right up here. Now then, maybe in our world, there lives some happy little trees back here. So we'll take this brush and just tap in some very basic little shapes. This brush is fantastic for making little distant tree shapes and leafy foliage things. It just works so well. There we are. Some little background trees. And this is just the dark, so we can come back and add a little bit of light and it'll show. If you put dark against dark, you have nothing, absolutely nothing. It doesn't show. If you put light against light, you have nothing. There we are. Okay. Now then. Now I want to create the illusion of a little mist down here. So I'm going to take a large brush and just tap the base of this, just to soften. Just want to soften everything. This is where you take out all your frustrations and hostilities and everything. This is better than going home and arguing with your spouse or kicking the puppy dog around. Do it here. Doesn't hurt anybody, makes you feel good. And when you're all done, instead of being angry, you have a beautiful painting up here. So it works for everybody. Now then, take a little paint thinner. We'll find a little dark sienna and a little white. We'll mix them together there. Let me reach right over here and get a little more paint thinner. Need a little more. I want this to be very thin. There we go. See how thin that is? Almost runs right off the palette. Now we can go up in here and put the indication here and there. Just a little tree trunk. See? There. And put as few or as many as you want. It's up to you. Maybe there's a couple of old sticks and twigs that stick out here. Maybe there was a tree there one time and he passed away. There. Okay. Now, let me grab another round brush. I have a couple of them going here. Going to dip it into a little touch of the liquid white, only to thin color. And I'm going to start tapping it right into some yellows, yellow ochre, a little Indian yellow, all those nice colors. Here and there, a little bright red, whatever. Be right back and grab a little sap green too. But just tap it to load the bristles. See? That's all you have to do. It's very simple. Works well. Now then, we go up here and go slightly above the dark and just tap in all kinds of nice little highlights. Just tap them in. There. This brush works so well. It makes such nice effects. So very easy. But think about shape and form. Make little individual things all in your little trees. Don't just hit it random. There's another one. Change the color a little bit. I'm just sort of varying back and forth between all the yellows and whatever. Indian yellow, a little bright red here and there, just to sparkle it up. There we go. Maybe a little touch right in there. This sort of gives a layered effect, makes it look like the bushes are deep. A lot of trees, a lot of little things happening. There we are. Something like so. This is just background material. We're not really concerned about it. Strictly background material. We're going to cover up a lot of it anyway. You can take a clean knife, scrape in the indication here of little sticks and twigs and trunks, little places for the squirrels to run up and down. There we are. My little squirrel still lives with me. He lives in Squirrel Hilton. We built him a great big cage. He's almost ready to turn loose now. Son of a gun's ready to make it on his own. Okay, let's start out here with some Van Dyke brown. Pull it out very flat, get tough with it. Cut across, get our small roll of paint right on the edge of the knife. Now maybe there's a wall back here. Maybe this is a seawall. Touch and pull down. Now we're into the liquid clear now. Just touch it and pull it down. Now because that liquid clear is on there, it does not distort color. Liquid white would distort your color and make it lighter. I don't want this to be distorted. There. Okay. Now I'm going to grab the base of it with a large brush and pull down. And you've probably guessed already, this is going to be the reflection. Very lightly. Go across and just do like that. And it's instant reflections. Now I want to make this look like boards standing up here. So let's take the knife, and instead of adding paint, today we're going to take paint away. See, just push. You can probably hear how hard I'm pushing. And you can make all different sizes of little boards, big ones, small ones, whatever you want, okay? This is a subtractive process rather than adding paint. We're taking paint away. And it's very effective, works very nice. Maybe in our world, let's have a building. Let's come right in here. Maybe let's just sort of scrape out a basic shape. Maybe there's an old building lives right there. I scrape out this shape only to remove this excess paint, so our color will remain nice and firm, good color when we put it on here. Let's start up here, a little bit of Van Dyke brown. Just give us a basic roof line, like so. Now let's take dark sienna, put a touch of alizarin crimson and Van Dyke brown to that too. Our little roll of paint, once again, there it is. Now then, all we're going to do, don't worry about it here, just very firmly apply this paint. Just all you're doing is blocking in. Don't worry about it. Don't get concerned. The only thing that matters is the roof line and the straight edges on the side. We don't care about anything else at this point. Later on, we'll begin worrying about details, but right now, just block in a very basic little shape. We'll take our large brush again, grab it, and pull down. Pull down, and once again, you're right. Just reflections. Go across, and see how much different this is with the liquid clear there? It's beautiful effects. Now then, take the knife, and very firmly here, all we're doing is, once again, we're just removing paint. Just removing paint. Now then, maybe let's make some boards in here. Now by tilting the knife, let's do it over here so you can see, tilting it this way or that way, you can make it brighter on one side and duller on the other. Try this and it'll make sense. I know it's sort of, see, it has a light side and a dark side. Look at there. You know how long it'd take you to paint that many boards? A couple of minutes. But all you're doing is removing paint. And if these have been out here on this river or whatever it is for a long time, they're going to be weather beaten, all banged up and everything. So don't worry about having them real smooth and real nice. It really adds to it if they have character. Shoot, anybody can do a new smooth building. Maybe there's right in here, maybe there's a door. Shoot, who knows? We go up here, maybe there's a window there. Maybe over here, another window. However many you want. Shoot, you want another one? There's one. Wherever you want them. Just put them in. Now we can just take our little knife. I use a little knife because it really bends better. Maybe there's something across like that. All we're doing still, though, is removing paint. All we're doing is allowing the canvas to show through. That's all. Tell you what, maybe here, maybe there's a walkway. So we'll first put it in. All we're doing is scraping off paint once again. Sometimes it'll help take a little black and put a very dark line under it. That way it'll stand out. Now then, since this is water, I'm going to take some white, a little bit of liquid white. Liquid white's only the thin. A little touch of blue in it, at least a little touch. Cut us off a tiny little bit. Okay, now let's go up here and just very firmly put in a little bit of little water line here and there. And you're just really scraping it in. You need to put this in, and I'll show you why before we do the next step. Because we always do the thing that's farthest away and work forward. And I'm going to take a little bit of black, just plain black. And maybe there's some little posts that go down in the water that hold up this little walkway. See there? That's all there is to it. Now I'm just touching the canvas. And we'll grab that, pull that down, go across, and reflect our little post right into the water. Now these reflections, you can move them, see? You can make them wiggle because it's wet. The liquid clears under there. There we go. Now then, back to our liquid white with a little blue in it. Put a little water out here. But see, you wanted that water behind. That's the reason we did that one back here first. A few little things here and there. Shoot, got it made. You can also take the knife, just use a small edge, and scrape out a little bit along these posts to make a highlight. Just sort of cut it in there. All you're doing is removing paint. As I say, this is a subtractive process rather than usually we're adding paint. Today we're subtracting paint. Let's get crazy. Let's get crazy. Let's come right up in here. Let's take some black and some Van Dyke brown, mostly black though, mostly black. Let's come right in here. Maybe there's a big building, lives right here. We'll do the roof, and all we're doing right now is just blocking in color, just like we did before. There's a roof, and come right down. Look at there, look at there. There it comes, there it is, right on down. We're just filling this all in. Very dark color, black with a little bit of brown in it, but mostly black, mostly black. Shoot, maybe there's a projection out here. I don't know. Just sort of make up some buildings. Heck, they don't have to be just like something you saw. Make them up. If an architect or somebody hadn't made it up to begin with, it wouldn't be there. So you can do that on canvas. You can be an architect on canvas. You can create anything that you want to create. And while we have that color on there, we're going to need a little underneath, once again, to create a reflection. If you ever do a painting that's on water and you forget the reflection, it'll look like it's floating above the water. And sometimes you don't even notice it. You just sort of forget. If you ever do a painting, it looks like your object here is floating. Check to make sure that you have a reflection under it, because if you don't, that will happen. Now then, once again, we're going to use a subtractive process. I'm going to take the small knife, a little edge on it, and just sort of randomly pick off little spots. If this works just right, it looks like little stones. Maybe this is a little building that's made out of stones. And just sort of, don't kill all the dark. Just take the knife and pick them off. This is one of the easiest, most effective ways I've ever designed to create an effective little stone buildings. See there? It's very, very simple. Very simple. You'll love it, I promise. Sounds like a used car salesman. Trust me, trust me. I'll take a little dark sienna and bright red and mix it together here. There we are. Pull it out flat, cut across our little roll of paint once again. And maybe up in here, maybe there's an old red roof. Just sort of let it come right on down. Add a little white to that. It's not bright enough. I want you to be able to see it a little bit. All right, there. Beautiful, beautiful. That works better. See, now you can see it a little better. But there's our roof. Now maybe in our building here, get a little black. Maybe there's a window. Come right up here with the camera, let's see. Right up here. There's a window that lives right there. Just come across. That's all there is to it. Maybe he's got a friend, another window right there. I don't know, wherever you want them. The same thing. Take a small knife here and just sort of scrape around this window to create a highlight. Excuse my arm for just a second so I can go down. There we are. Isn't that easy? It sort of outlines the little window. And you've created a highlight around the window. That easy. Now maybe there's a walkway up there. We'll take some black, a little roll of paint. Let's come right in here. See, here comes a little walkway, and it projects out past that, and then goes back. Now then, clean my knife. We can turn. And once again, scrape off a highlight on top. Just firmly, firmly scrape. Now then, we need a top rail. Watch here, maybe the top rail. There's enough dark paint on there, you almost don't even have to add anymore. Just scrape it. There's our rail. And I'm bouncing back and forth between the little knife and the large knife, depending on the size we need. Put some little dewars in there. And once again, you can just scrape those. Give them a little highlight. That easy. Maybe right along here to separate this ledge. We'll just scrape a little paint off to create a little highlight right there. See, but that easy. This looks like an old stone building sitting out here. It's 1.5 million years old. At least a decade or two. Isn't that fantastic though? I love these kind of little paintings. And you'll find they work for you. A little water line right under here. As I say, on the St. Johns River in Florida, there's a lot of buildings and stuff that sit right on the river like this, and it's spectacular. I like to set up on some of these old walls and stuff, catch that big bass that lives out there. But then, as I mentioned before, then I bring him in and put a Band-Aid on his mouth, give him a little CPR, and turn him loose. Let's come right up here and take the contact paper off. See what we have here. There we are. That easy. We have a beautiful little thing here. Now, you know me. I always have to put a big tree in everything. Sometimes I get letters from people and they say, why'd you have to put that big tree in there? I liked it better before you put it in there. If that's the case, leave the big tree out. We only want to show you how to do things here. We're not trying to tell you this is the way to do it or the only way to do it, the right way, wrong way. In art, I don't believe there is a right and a wrong way. You do what makes you happy. Art's too free to be confined by distinct rules. It's an individual thing. So I want a big tree here anyway. There it goes. And all I'm doing is I'm just using an old 2-inch brush and just putting in a basic shape. Just very basic. I'm not worried about detail. Just a big old basic shape. There it is. Okay. There. Maybe we need a little reflection right into here. And we'll take a clean brush and just pull that straight down and go across. Zoop. That easy. We got a nice reflection. And let's have this maybe come, there it is. Shoot, yeah. Let it come right on out here. Wherever you want it. That's just where it should be. Now then, take a fan brush, we'll put a little white, little dark sienna on it. Now then, let's go right up in here. And here's our old tree trunk. There he is. Just drop him right in. We'll go back to our round brush. A little bit of color. And let's highlight this. Think about form, think about shape. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? That's maybe a good way to remember it. If I could sing, I'd sing it to you. Think about form, think about shape. We're going to build a tree. There. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? This old round brush does wonderful things. You can paint entire paintings with it. Entire painting. And it's not really round. It's sort of a oval shape. So you can bring it to a nice sharp chisel edge if you want. Make beautiful evergreens, all kinds of things. Clouds. Whatever. Try it. There we go. Now maybe back in here, maybe there's some little individual bushes. Just figure out where they're at. Drop them in. Change the colors a little. Wherever. See there? There they are. Okay. And in your world, you make the big decisions where all these little things live. And drop them in. Now then, let me come right along here. Take a little bit of the liquid white, put a little water line right into there. The old clock tells me it's about time to leave you for today. So I'm going to leave you putting in, take a little brown, little white, put in a little landmass right here. Look at that. And we can take our fan brush, pop in some nice little items, just like so, here and there. Isn't that something? I hope you try this one, because I know that you'll enjoy it. It's a fantastic way to paint. From all of us here, happy painting, and God bless.